to our guests, please. Can they go straight straight to the question? You have just 23 minutes. Yes.
Yeah. Me?
Yes.
Can I go on?
Quickly.
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, one question with for Vivian regarding what happened. I think yesterday in Congo. There was a uprising of people, they protested, in front of, Rwanda embassy to protest regarding, all the involvement of Rwanda about, genocide that there is happening in our country. For years, people are killed every day. Thousands of people are killed every day without, Western country to do something strong, to make that thing to stop. We don't really feel that, especially UK doing something, to put Rwanda under pressure, so that all those, rebels, all those, people are getting into Congo, keep people. They don't really doing something, great, to make these things to stop. And yesterday we seen people have been protesting, and some people have been arrested. And we need the UK government to do something so that they may put, President Tshisekedi under pressure to make sure that all those things to stop. Because now we feel that people doesn't really have, a freedom to speak, to upright their voice and say that this thing is not this, that thing's done is not good. We don't really feel it, and it's a frustrating. I don't know what you can do, to make these things, to move a little bit more.
Good question. That's a very good question. Thank you, Douglas.
Yeah.
Now, Vivian, you keep that question. Another question? Mutumoko, we have 3 guests. Torotuna, Paulina, Vivian, and Dr. Martin. Yes, Paul. Mute rapid, please. The time. Time is not in our favor, Paul. Brief question.
Paul is mute.
Longola mute, Paul. Longola mute. So na chebo ekoki. We need time.
Na tutuna ka question moko très bref, président. Na minute otozana deux camps, soit des batu. Kamoko batu bakuzwa vaccin. Yami bale ba o bakuzwa vaccin. Ba o bakuzwa vaccin, bénéfice na bango ekozala nini? Ba o bakuzwa vaccin te conséquence ekozala nini? Question na esa bongo.
Merci, Dr. Martin Oziango, docteur. Okay, Dr. Martin Oziango. One more question. Yes, Token Andeko Simon.
Président, merci pour le message. Nga ko poser question par maman Martine.
Oui.
Question ngezali, mais pourquoi NHS a vraiment mobilisé bato penzate pour sensibiliser bango pour comprendre l'importance ya vaccin? Parce que ils a vraiment peut-être étant sous question ngeza un peu différent parce que nga na Glasgow, Scotland, na Angleterre, en tout cas façon ya ko deal nango est un peu différent, donc vous allez un peu moins problème pour répondre nga nango, mais na lingi kaka na anticiper pour na bande ko mususu baza na niveau ya Angleterre, parce que ils allaient vraiment musala oyo NHS il faut vraiment à se mobiliser pour na ko sensibiliser batuna yango, mais naza vraiment comme na bango vraiment baza vraiment engagé pina makasite pour na yango et puis so oyo ko lobani.
Thank you. Okay, sorry for Paulina and Vivian. The both question is regarding the vaccine. The first one was, for people be given the vaccine, what are the advantages for them? And those people who are not going to be given the vaccine, that question go to the doctors. What's going to happen to them if people decide not to take vaccine? So the second question is, what NHS is doing now to prepare people or to bring more people to accept to take vaccine, especially in the UK? Now, any more question? Comme ça, the guests, please write down your question. You're going to answer them later. We're going to give them time to speak. More question? Okay, Simon, last one.
Oui.
Yes, Simon.
Mes questions au suko naza nango eza pona Viviane.
Okay.
Question nange ali, how do you feel now after receiving vaccination?
Okay, vaccine, that's a question for you. How do you feel since you received the vaccine? Okay, any more questions? Okay, we're gonna go to the guests and then we're gonna come back later. Okay, so can we speak now, please? You go each 2 minutes to answer those questions, please, because there are a lot of questions coming out to give people more open view. How with you, Vivianne?
Okay, well, firstly, I feel no different after the vaccination than I did before. I feel absolutely no different. Secondly, I think we have to continue to give, to bring our government, as in the UK government, we have to bring them to account, which is why I am taking a long time to do this article, which will be a good few pages, but not too long, because we know that brief is best. In every situation, we have to bring the UK government to account. And obviously I need you guys, all of you, to be with me on this. And yeah, we need to bring the government to account, and we need to the rest of the UK population to know what the UK government is doing in the Congo and the negative effect that what the UK government is having on the Congolese people. And that means pressure and publications, and we need the truth to come out. And obviously I'm in the middle of process of trying to do that, but obviously I'm obviously in contact with people every day in the Congo and in the surrounding countries. So, but obviously I don't know everything. So if you guys know information I don't, Akito can give you my contact details. You can also look at my YouTube videos and see what I've done. One of them is just You Raise Me Up, which is Vivianne Poor, You Raise Me Up. And
can you put your link on the chat for us?
Sorry?
Put your link, the YouTube link.
Yeah, of course.
So people can view them.
Yeah.
Put a link na ya musala sala kana YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, but the main thing is that we have to get the message out there on everywhere about the effect that UK is having on the Congo.
Thank you so much, Vivianne. Dr. Martin? Dr. Martin?
Alors, oui, Nasa pré-président. Pour la première question, vaccine ou pas vaccine, bon, on va causer vaccine, on développer immunité, on va causer vaccinité, on peut bénéficier de l'immunité à baninga. Dans quel sens? Ceux qui sont protégés pour avoir qui vaccin, moyen communiquer on a battu sous exacté. Dans long terme, pour causer infection, et à la contenu et à la réduit. Ça, c'est une option. Deuxième option, ce n'est pas obligatoire. En tout cas, pour l'instant, ce n'est pas obligatoire battu bas vaccin. Aux an a choix, soit au causois, soit au causoité. Du moment que vous comprenez la conséquence que ce causoit COVID-19, ou éviter ce que vous avez bateau a un symptôme T, ou bien vous avez un bateau a juste moins symptôme qui bien, ou bien vous avez un bateau a juste symptôme à beli makasi à conditions intensives, et puis tu éviter ce qui a robimaté. Donc voilà pour la première question. La réponse deuxième question maintenant ou après?
Non, quelqu'un a dit docteur. Et puis on va en anglais pour yo za bateau bele ba yo kayo.
Allô?
Tolobi docteur, okoloba en anglais pe, soko si na les deux questions après le bipe en anglais.
D'accord. So for the question regarding vaccine or not vaccine, the people that will get the vaccine will develop an immunity against the virus. And as a result, they cannot transfer that to somebody else. Therefore, the long term is that some people may develop, they end up protecting even those who did not get the vaccine. This is why it's very important that the number of people who get the vaccine exceed the number of people who do not get the vaccine, even though we encourage everyone to get it, because our community is among the high-risk group of those who are more likely to go into intensive care and, God forbid, dying as well from the complication of the virus. So that's for that. For the second question about what is the NHS doing about it? Now, the NHS, actually, the Anglophone community, because I am part of many organizations and groups of other doctors, the BME doctors or Black doctors and African doctors of various countries, there are actually forums going on at the moment to try and encourage communities, in the Asian community, in the African community, to encourage people to take up the vaccine, not to be apprehensive, to take up the vaccines because of the long-term benefits and the long-term implications of the COVID-19. So there are some things that the NHS is doing indirectly, I would say, not directly, but indirectly empowering is working with local community to encourage people to do forums. I've got friends that we've been doing Instagrams lives, we've been doing Zoom meetings, we've been doing we're using different platforms, teams to try and really raise the awareness. But the problem is that the Francophone community, I think, is where this is lacking. I think there's not a lot of teams or a lot of professionals that are engaging in that to try and empower the Francophone community. Maybe because it will require people that also speak French or also people speak a different language. And I think maybe that's why it appears as if the NHS is not really raising awareness in non-English speaking communities. But, I'm here, I'm willing, but of course we need more and more people to be able to raise that awareness to say, guys, go on, take the vaccine, protect your loved ones, protect yourselves. It's not, so many conspiracy theories out there, which cannot really be verified scientifically. So that's what I would say for that answer. To come back in Lingala now, pour la question mi balé par rapport à NHS, bato bazana ba communauté anglophone, bazana ba camarades bazali, ya ba moka mususu bazape ba médecin, to bandi ko sala ba plateforme pour na koebisa na ba communauté mususu, ba Nigérian, ba Ghanéen, ba Zimbabwéen, ba Zambien, bango nyonso au moins ke ba médecin na bango bazozala vraiment motivé koebisa ba bozwa ba vaccin. Mais côté na biso francophone, toza penza mingi. Je ne pense pas que NHS a poussé penza côté ba mboka oyo balobaka anglais te. Donc, voilà ce que ça dépend de nous, et ça dépend de biso comment toki koebisa ba communauté mususu, communauté congolaise, ba camerounais, ba ivoirien, ba sénégalais, donc ba francophone quoi, pour bazwape information, on des places je pense NHS aza penza ko pousser makasité na ba mboka oyo to na ba communauté oyo ezolo ba anglais te. Mais ba communauté bazolo ba anglais en tout cas na monitor ba Zoom ezo salema ba Instagram live ba Teams meeting baza vraiment ko la musabatu par rapport ya vaccin. Merci.
Merci beaucoup Dr. Martin. Toza tozongi na mituna. Any more question? We still have 10 minutes. Toza na 10 minutes etikali. Toza na mituna totuna bango mituna bazaliawa Paulina azaliwana Vivianne azali Dr. Martin azali. Bato bozana bomitie na ba video ezo mona na te moyana bino bino ezate soko ozana mutuna ekozala bien olongola video biolo ba poto yokayo ba mama na zoyoka bino te Marie Luzolo na zoyoka yo te anto question na ekatanaki anto question na ekatanaki
Présent toute la question par maman Martine.
OK, merci maman Hortense.
Yeah. Merci pour la question tu n'as pas maman Martine. Na ngo tu na ka ndenga lobby vaccin so aujourd'hui première dose après aussi dans deuxième dose. Siko so aujourd'hui tu na deuxième dose est-ce que okobanda kaka kolata masque ozo kipeka distance na batuto ozo non normal. Question à yango. Merci.
OK. En tout cas pour na vaccin, tant on va payer sur deuxième dose et qu'on a sous quelques semaines pour vraiment développer full immunity. Je pense que dans le vaccin, nous sommes ça 94%, 98%, il y a effectiveness nango. Alors tant au juif vaccin et la qui c'était que il faut toujours après yango au bomba au banakolata sous masque était bon. Wana ko kolobana nous ezana nous trop early potoyeba qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire et qu'est-ce qu'il ne faut pas faire. Mais une chose est sûre, on est bazu ba vaccin baza en mesure n'est que tala bande kona bango mususu o baza na besoin d'aide baza na tant ba cause deuxième dose je veux dire ba cause on a beaucoup plus de flexibilité et cause super rigidité que non oyuko solana mutute oyuko vana permis à mutute non et que ça a beaucoup plus de confort dans aux anabatu parce que yo moyen de transmettre en a mutezate et puis ceux qui mutazana ngo moyen à transmettre yo qui obela makasi zate ceux qui peut aux yeux ngo obela pa makasi te pour aux qui vaccin avantage ya AstraZeneca non seulement eza ko réduire nani sévérité à malade au kozwa mais eza pe ko sunga yo pe ozwa ngote donc ezo dépend na ndenge nzoto ne ko répondre na vaccin mais en tout cas ce que j'ai deuxième dose na yo et cause sous super que strict non parce que bah toi Rosala beaucoup plus protégé donc il y aura moyen à retrouver une certaine liberté na ba masque une certaine liberté na ba distance mais comme na lobaki ezali maladie à sika bah tu bazali ko améliorer to ko transformer ba décision dépendamment ya ba réponse parce que na habité sur yoka ki na ba nouvelle eza na ba genre mususu ya même COVID-19 wana o ebimaki na bamboka mususu ndambo ebimaki na awa na Grande-Bretagne mususu ebimaki na Brésil mususu ebimaki na Afrique du Sud alors baza pesko kotala comment est-ce que batu bako répondre par rapport ya ba virus wana o échanger na ba vaccin batu baza besoin donc eza mo maladie moko asika ngana ko conseiller qu'on se précipite dans le relaxer te ata soko si deuxième dose talande makambo ezo kende pona komi batela jusqu'à ce que batu bayebi vraiment comment ko deal na. Merci.
Docteur Lobape en anglais s'il vous plaît.
Merci.
Oh, so sorry.
Okay.
So I have just answered the question about after you've had your second dose of the vaccine, what happened? Do you take off your mask? Do you begin to get close to people? I've said that it is a new disease. We are learning as we go. But one thing we know for sure, when you have had your full course of the vaccine, you after a few weeks, you develop a level of immunity, which can make you, of course, comfortable to interact with people. However, there has been new variants of this vaccine. And what people are doing at the moment is that they are trying to see whether the immunity you develop from the current vaccine does fully protect you against the variants. And this is what I was saying to my sister who asked the question, that even though you get your second dose, still protect yourself and observing the guidelines depending on what will be found. You can't just go straight away and say, I've got my second dose, bye-bye mask, bye-bye social distancing, I can do whatever I want. No. I think it should be a gradual process because it is a new disease and we are using a vaccine. We are still looking at how people are responding to it. And we've got new variants that have come up. We need to be confident enough before we can relax all the measures, even though we'll be relaxing them, but it should be a gradual process until we know very well how we're going to respond with the vaccine that we have and the new variants. Thank you.
Thank you, doctors. Doctor, I have two questions for you. Pourquoi coronavirus est malade des oya na bavariant? Pourquoi ebandi le londeng mususu lobe ye mboka mususu bayana mususu? Qu'est-ce qui se passe que les fixe maladité? Ils ont changé. Deuxième question, batubaza kutuna, pourquoi vaccin mususu ba obomba ngona moins de 70 degrés? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Eloko ne ba obomba na kati? Est-ce que ba chiema bende na kati te?
OK. Question numéro 1. Merci pour la question. Bon. Virus, any virus, ne locovirus basalaka. Ba virus bazali na facilité ya ko changer bien DNA bi comment on décrit DNA te. Information génétique na bango. Baza na facilité à ko changer ngo. Na opesa exemple moko très simple. Chaque année beaucoup de être ce qu'on a un groupe il y a bateau avec un vaccin à flou bah comme la lettre il y a cause un vaccin à flou et que cause là bas parents na biso to ba bande connexion tant bazali high risk bah comme every year il y a cause un vaccin à flou mais vaccin à flou ne garantit pas que cause à flou mais ça réduit le risque que aux variante aux infection à flou ou ekoya na saison. Alors à cause, pourquoi ils ont c'est parce que les virus changent information génétique là tout le temps. Donc cette réaction au tozomona, il y a virus eza eloko asika toyebi ke ba virus basala yango ezara plus question quand est-ce que basala yango et ceux qui basala yango comment to se préparer pour na ko counteract yango. Just to translate, viruses, that's what they do. They have a very high susceptibility to change their genetic information. They do it all the time. This is why every year when you get the flu vaccine, you don't get the same mixture of flu vaccine. It's slightly different depending on what they think the variant of that year is. And even when you get the flu vaccine, it's not a guarantee that you will not get the flu. It depends on whether you meet a variant that is not included in your vaccine. Therefore, you are still slightly likely to get one. If you get the same one, then you know you are protected against that one. So it's the nature of viruses to mutate all the time. That's what they do. They have that ability, that flexibility. But the thing with them is that if you get one that is the most prevalent, then you're more likely to be protected. Thank you. Sure. The second question about why some viruses, why some vaccines are -70 or why the other one doesn't need as much temperature. This is because of what they have been made of. When you are dealing with a certain type of product. So in this instance, we're talking about genetic information, the messenger RNA that they're using in the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine. You need to conserve it at very high temperatures. It's not because it's got chip in it. It's not because it's got something weird in it. It's simply because of conservation, the way it has been done. I did a bit of science research before to carry on to my clinical work. And part of things that I did was working with different things. I did some biochemistry, I did some cell biology, I've done some biomedical sciences. So different materials are stored at different degree. And one of the good things about the AstraZeneca vaccine, for example, is that it's not restricted to temperature. And I think this is why it's probably going to be the one that most GPs will be giving now because of the storing facility. But the Pfizer was the one that came out first, and it needed to be stored at a high degree because of the kind of mixture that has been put in it, not because of the chip. Thank you. Nalingala sikoyo, température wana ezali kaka pona lolenge, eza lokwa nyama. Mutu mususu orobomba nyama na congélateur, orobomba mbisi na congélateur, orobomba ndunda na frigo. Eza presque la même mentalité. Pona côté ya Pfizer, o wana biloko batie na kati ezo senga mebomba na température wana ya -70 degrés. Et puis oyo et salemaki en Oxford, avantage nango oriko bomba ngo na frigo ozomona. Alors ce n'est pas parce que oya -70 degrés wana eza na ba nini babenga ngo nini eza na ba biloko mabe na kati. Non, ezo dépendre na biloko ndenge eloko basaleli nango vaccin, il faut la conserver na température likolo. Okoyi kozwa te neti ice cream otia ngo na frigo eko fondre. Il faut tia ice cream na congélateur. Par contre, au lingo tia yaourt, il faut tia yaourt na frigo, mais au tia na congélateur pour conserver goût nango. En fait, eza na kati ya analogie wana. Eza te po eza na chip, to eza na chip te. Non, merci.
Dr. Martin, thank you so much. And we are now to the end of the meeting. We're going to have another meeting like this. It's so powerful today. And thank you we're going to thank our guests. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are very pleased. It's Ali Biemakas. Thank you for your presence, all of the three guests. You have taken your time this afternoon for this, and we have learned a lot. Without your presence, I don't think we're going to have what we have here today. Everybody here needed something. We had a lot, and thank you. Everything you mentioned was very useful for our people. Congolese here today have been having difficult questions, and you come with so many clarity. It helps us as a community and help people to know what to do forward. Thank you so much. I really don't know what you said, but I'm really pleased for this. Topesi bango merci mingi na musala baye na ngolelo. Na kanisi to ye koli muke biso nyonso. Vraiment batiki ba responsabilité na bango. Na robonde la bango na suka soki bakoya lisusu. Pona baya tozwa ta ebele obia tozwa mukolo moko na bango. Po tozwa ta ebele na mituna. Pona yebi ke docteur ake mituna ebele to silicité. Na yebi mituna ebele botuna kanga yawa. Na kolinga kutu na yebi sa mukana songi ba yebi sibiso balobi o wane eza na moins de 70 degrés ke kokoma na Congo. Totuni ete tokotune mukolo mususu. Balobi welunga. Peto yoki na bande kumususu baye awa na mbosani te pona nini on dirait mituna eza lelo te soki ta botuna eza te ou bien toza vraiment ya kolemba. Tokoluka to tia réunion avant tokosoana bango. Merci na présence abatunyo so baye. Oyo pe baye te vraiment merci mingi. Na kosala bino ka muke surprise na moni pe son excellence die donné pengo azawana. Bato ebele bayebi Dr. Martin te, Dr. Martin azali mwana ya Papa Jean-Paul. Papa Jean-Paul na biso, Papa Jean-Paul obomona gayaka na réunion wa mwana naye. Donc mwana obozo na zale kangai be na ngaki na loba liboso te, nanga na bosukisa na suka po bolo ba président za koteri. Ben, merci mingi en tout cas. Thank you everybody, and we look forward to see you again on another occasion. But I hope it's not the first time, Paulina. We have a lot of questions to go, and you know there was a lot of stress and a lot of pressure with this coronavirus going on, and we have got the presence of medical doctors. Everybody was focusing to know more about what's going to happen to us because people are scared of this vaccine. People don't know what is inside of those things, and she's a very clear person. She's a senior medical officer. She's been very kind to be here today to help us and with a lot of clarity in the language that people can speak. How great we've been very blessed this afternoon to have her. Thank you. And your presence I'm going to say French to come. Your presence, Paulina, was also very unique. We have learned a lot, especially having you for a long time and been working with you. Everybody here know you well. And as you can feel it, people mental health is very, very intense, and we want to see how we can help. We're going to be part of that very coming campaign, and please let us know what to do. I hope we're going to have a lot of information to put in place. Betty is already given her time to work with Fabrice, and we thank Director Fabrice for making this to happen. You're very, very special for us. I know you work hard to get Paulina this afternoon. We really appreciate this, and we know we're going to do more for us. Thank you so much, Vivianne. You know, it's without you today, we have a lot from you, and you love Congolese people, and a lot of people didn't know much about you today. Some of them feel like we're going to carry on asking questions. You know, what is happening in Congo, I want to see a lot of change, and also your witness of being somebody who already had a vaccine and telling people how good is the vaccine and telling people you had it already and you keep wanting to have a second one. That gives a good evidence, a good testimony to let everybody hear that it's not only Congolese have been given a vaccine, everybody's been given a vaccine. And it's very good that people have this witness. So thank you so much to come today to testify this and to have your time. We had a good evidence to show even the people the box that you have. You're still having your text at home and you're still working. Thank you so much. Tomorrow next Saturday, and I hope we are very pleased for this and look forward to see you again. So we're going to say goodbye and I look forward to see you next Saturday. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Martin for a second occasion.
Okay, we got a question. Are you okay to come for the second time, Dr. Martin?
Vivianne. We will plan it. Don't worry. We will plan it. I'll speak to President. Don't worry. We'll plan it.
Doctor, we want you anytime. When are you free? Every time you are free, please make sure we're going to look for you. Paulina, are you okay to come a second time? That was a question from Anto, the last one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Vivianne, are you okay if we invite you for another meeting?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was the deal. The deal? Thank you. Look forward to see them. Bye-bye now. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now. Thank you. Bye. What a meeting this was. Thank you so much. Wow.